Welcome to Libby Hinesley Yoga Therapy. I'm Libby. I'm going to present a gentle practice today that aims to be supportive of the low back. So this is a practice you can do just lying down on the floor. You will need a strap if you have one. If you don't have one, then you can use a belt or a tie. It might also be nice to have a bolster, not required, and also a block if you have one. So let's begin lying down on our backs. So get comfortable. I like to place the bolster underneath my knees. If you don't have one, no big deal. Just skip that or lie comfortably in some other way. Sometimes it's comfortable to just bend the knees and let the knees rest in on each other if you don't have a bolster. But wherever you're settling in, close your eyes. Let your awareness just drop into the body. Notice whatever you can notice about the shape of your body and the sensation of contact where the body meets the earth, where the body meets your props. If it's helpful, you can set one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, and begin to feel the sensation of breath. Feel the body rise and fall as your breath is already happening. Give yourself a moment to link your attention with the breath so closely that you're able to begin to follow every part of the breath. Follow the inhale all the way up. Follow the exhale all the way down. And for the next few breaths, focus on how much expansion you can feel in the front of the body. As you inhale, feel your hands rise, and as you exhale, feel them fall back toward your center. Really moving that expansion to the front body, down into the belly, the lower part of the ribs. And then for a few breaths, see if you can bring some of that expansion over to the side of your body, so to the waist and the sides of your rib cage. See if you can feel that area expanding outward as you inhale, and then coming back toward your center as you exhale. Just a couple breaths like that. Finding space in the sides of your ribs and waist. And then move your attention to the back of the body. See about bringing some of that inhale expansiveness into the lower back and even the lower ribs in the back. See if you can feel your body kind of spreading out into the earth as you breathe in. Softening as you breathe out. Good, and then take our last few breaths here to fill up all of those areas at the same time so that you can get the sense that this whole center of your body, the whole chest and waist and belly and back, all expands outward in all directions as you inhale and comes back to the center as you exhale. So a couple last breaths like that. And we'll begin to move gently with the breath, staying with that sense of 360-degree expansion on the inhale, and then this sense of inwardness on the exhale. As an inhale arrives, let your arms float up and back. The whole inhale to stretch your arms overhead and maybe even get really tall, tall, tall. And then exhale to float your arms back down and rest by your sides. Several times just like that. Here's an opportunity for you to link up body and breath and awareness, so closely linked together. It's like everything just falls into sync. Everything falls into alignment with each other. All of your parts on the same page, dropping in for the practice. This quality of connection is what we're after in our yoga practice. Slow and steady breath linked with slow and steady movement. Nowhere else to be. We'll continue to move a bit just like this. Every inhale, stretching arms overhead. And now every exhale, hug a knee in toward your chest. Just gently hug it in. As you inhale, stretch the body long. As you exhale, hug the other knee in so that you're alternating sides here, breath by breath. Your own pace. So anytime that I'm breathing and moving, if it's not matching your pace, then please stay with your own pace. There's no rush. There's just inquiry on how does it feel to link up your body with your breath. Starting to notice how the body feels, the low back and the hips. As you exhale this time, knee to chest. Go ahead and bring your other one in to meet it so that you've got both knees hugged in. And you can just rock gently side to side along your low back, feeling that contact with the floor. Good. From here, if you have a bolster underneath you, you can move it to the side and just come onto your back with your feet on the floor. As you inhale, tip your pelvis forward, just like you're sticking your bottom out behind you. It'll pull the low back away from the floor a little bit. As you exhale, tip your pelvis backward so that your low back touches the floor. This is a small movement of the pelvis. Inhale, tips it forward. Exhale, tips it back. See if you can allow your pelvis to ride the wave of the breath. Just easeful, slow motion movement here. You might notice if it feels more natural or more easeful to tip one way versus the other way. You're just noticing what you notice about your body throughout the practice. I'm going to continue with this little movement, but add a bit to it. So the next time you exhale, as you rock your pelvis back, also peel it up off the floor. That's all exhale, coming to a bridge. As you inhale, paste your spine to the floor one vertebra at a time and tip the pelvis forward. As you exhale, tip the pelvis back and peel it up. We'll follow that a few more times. Inhale, one vertebra at a time, comes down, and then tip pelvis forward. The big unfurling of the spine. Exhale, rocks it back, peels it up. So follow your own pace here. Keep in mind that it doesn't matter how high up you lift your hips. You may just lift them a couple inches. That's okay. There's nowhere that we're trying to get to here. We're just trying to explore the body and the breath. All right, the next time that you do find yourself up in the bridge pose, go ahead and stay. So again, your bridge might be very low, it might be medium, it might be really tall, doesn't matter. Find the place that feels really nice for your body, feels stable, feels interesting. And settle in for several deep breaths here, waking up the back of the body, the muscles here in the backs of the body, backs of the legs, rather backs of the hips, and the lower back. If your lower back is uncomfortable in the bridge pose, I have two suggestions for you. Number one, maybe just lower the bridge. See how that feels. Number two, squeeze your bottom a little bit more. Squeeze your butt muscles. These are the muscles that are really key here in helping to support this pose. And they're also key in helping to support your lower back. We're still here for one more breath. As you are ready, exhale to lower all the way down. And just feel the body. Notice the effect of the bridge pose. And then when you're ready, hug both knees in. Give yourself a little rock side to side. And then let your knees, or feet rather, come to the floor, feet wide apart, the width of your mat, and let your knees drop over to the right and over to the left. And just enjoy these windshield wipers. Doesn't matter how far you go. The wider your feet are apart, the more rotation you'll find through the hips and through the lower back. We're just easing a bit of rotation up the spine here. Just let your body enjoy the rocking and the rhythmic quality of this movement. As you're ready, come on back to center and grab your strap or your belt or your tie, whatever you have. Place the strap around the ball of your right foot. Take the right leg up towards the sky and stretch the left leg out long. Okay, so we're settling in for a leg stretch, aiming for a gentle stretch all the way down the back of the leg from the heel bone all the way down to the sitting bone. And one of the things I recommend almost always in this pose is don't pull so hard on your leg. You don't have to pull so hard on it, just kind of let it be there, but let the heel bone really telescope up towards the sky so that the stretch is along the whole leg and it can be gentle. Sometimes the body responds much more favorably to gentleness rather than to force. So just enjoy the sensation that you're finding wherever you are. And we'll explore a little bit more of the leg with some waving at the sky. Inhale your right leg out to the right, maybe just a few inches. Exhale your right leg over to the left, just a few inches. And start to investigate these little angles, these changes in angle and how that changes the stretch. Just waving the leg back and forth a few more times. You get to decide how far you want to go in each direction. That's up to you. I'm finding in my body right now that just staying right here near the midline is very interesting. I don't need to go any farther right now. Let's take one more breath. And then ease it back to the center. And when you get there, bring your right leg down and just take a moment to kind of feel the two sides of your body. Notice the qualities that are present here. And then we'll bring the left leg up towards the sky and explore the same stretch on the left side. So settle in for that gentle stretch down the back of the left leg from heel bone all the way to sitting bone. Enjoy what you find. Settle into that sensation. Notice how it's a little different from the right side, perhaps. And then as you're ready, you begin to explore some different angles. So now we'll inhale the left leg out to the left a little ways. And exhale the left leg across the midline just a little ways. Once again, at your own pace, just exploring the leg, noticing what you find. There's nowhere we're trying to get to here. Taking this opportunity to kind of feel some nuances of stretch through the inner and outer thigh, the back of the leg. And we'll give it one last breath over here. And as you feel ready, come back to center and place your strap to the side. And we'll take both legs down for a noticing pause. Just feel the body. Good. Bend your knees. Cross your right ankle over your left knee for a figure 4 stretch. We'll hug the left knee in towards the chest and rock the whole thing side to side gently. Just a few breaths here to explore the right hip. Notice what you find in the right hip here. And then how easy or difficult is it for you to stay with your breath, every part of the breath. The whole inhale, the whole exhale. And as you finish the breath you're on, ease it back to center. Relax both legs down, both feet to the floor, about the width of your mat. We'll revisit our windshield wipers just for a moment. Just gently side to side. And then When you reach center, cross the left ankle over the right knee and enjoy several breaths here on this side. So again, I enjoy rocking the whole thing side to side, but if you find that perfect angle of stretch that feels really, really nice, feel free to stay there and enjoy. Either way, let your breath be an anchor for your attention. Stay with it. Stay present right here with your experience. And as you finish the breath you're on, come back to center. Just go ahead and hug both knees in towards your chest. We'll finish with a gentle twist. So let your knees come over to the left. And if the floor seems far away here, then just place something underneath your knees, a blanket or a block, some support, so that you find just the right amount of twist in your body. I like to rest my left hand on my thighs and take my right arm out to the side, towards the right. Let the right shoulder blade rest heavily towards the earth. And then as you settle into your twist, let's take about 4 or 5 breaths to come back to that big 360-degree expansive breathing that we began with. So even as you're twisted up here, can you feel big expansion in belly, chest, sides of the waist, ribs, and the whole back of the trunk, the low back, the upper back. Spread it all out with your breath. Let it all come back towards the center as you exhale. 1 or 2 last breaths here. You may feel the way that the breath comes from the inside out to create some stretching for the tissues of the trunk. As you're ready, come back to center. Pause in between sides and hug both knees in, maybe rock a bit side to side. You can even pull your chin towards your chest and forehead toward your knees. Then as you're ready, take your knees over to the other side. So knees to the right this time. You can rest your right hand on your thighs and left arm out to the side. It's fine to take your gaze towards the sky or over toward your left, however it feels best on your neck. But once you arrive, settle in again to find out how much expansion can you find in the center of your body. So we've twisted the body up. We've put all these tissues on a big stretch through the belly and the waist. And now we're using breath to come in and stretch it even more. See if you can feel that quality of the breath as a stretching aid. As you feel complete on this side, ease your way back to the center. Readjust and hug both knees in. Maybe forehead towards the knees again, stretching into a ball. Giving yourself a little rock side to side. We're ready to settle in for a few minutes of final relaxation. So if you have a bolster handy, then I highly recommend that you use that underneath your knees for final relaxation, just as we began class. Again, if you don't have that, you can have your legs stretched all the way out along the floor, or just place your feet on the floor with your knees resting in on each other. Just find a comfortable position. That's the main thing here, is that it feels comfortable for you. Give yourself a couple releasing breaths to settle the body more fully into the earth here, so that this becomes an opportunity to let go of all effort in body and all effort in breath. And you just get to melt into the benefits of this practice. nowhere else to be with your awareness, but right here, melting, releasing, enjoying these last moments of stillness and inwardness. I'm going to let you have that quiet time for the next few minutes, and then I'll draw your awareness back with the sound of the bell in just a few minutes to close our practice. Enjoy resting right where you are. Take your time to drift the awareness back to the body, the weight of the body, the sensation of it. Eventually find a couple deeper breaths, moving in and out of the body. And just when you feel ready, over the next few breaths, start to bring some movement back in. You can wiggle fingers and toes or stretch arms overhead. Eventually, bend both knees and roll over to one side. Take a little rest on your side, breath or two, and then press your way up to a seat. We'll meet up in a seated position here, ideally on some support. I have a bolster underneath me. You might have a block or a bolster or at least a blanket, some support so that your spine can be free, sitting on top of the pelvis. When you arrive, close your eyes, tune in, and just take these last moments to notice the qualities present in the body at the end of practice. Quality of the breath, quality of the mind, and the quality of the heart. All of these aspects changing moment to moment. And right now we're here to notice what's the effect in all these aspects of our experience. What's the effect of that practice? Bring your palms together at the heart center. Let's bow the head slightly. Take a moment to honor yourself for caring enough about yourself to make space for this nourishing practice. And it's such an honor to practice with you. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste. So if you'd like to learn more about me and about my work, or work with me privately, please visit my website at libbyhinesley.com.